Well, it's been a long time since I did my last YouTube presentation on spoking a wheel, some wheel tips, and I had a lot of comments from people who said that they thought it would be nice if I had a little more detail and a little more explanation, possibly showing me lace a wheel and true it. Due to the time constraints, that's really pretty much impossible for YouTube. So what I'm doing is a slideshow with a little narration. I recently acquired an Urban Express. Got the stock 14-inch wheel. You can see it's in really bad shape. Rusted out, flat, broken spokes. Some guy kind of went MacGyver on it, how we all do when we want to ride, and he put some long spokes in and bent them, if you can see that detail. And I tried soaking it, but I could only get about 80% off, and I actually had to take the Sawzall and cut a bunch up. Luckily, I had a spare spokes set. I took the hub and I bead blasted it, put it in a lathe, and trued the drum surface, checked the wheel for true, and got a viable hub. Cleaned up the rim and everything, and got it ready, prepped up, ready to go. Painted it with some, I like to use high temp silver I use on my heads, and it holds up well to the heat. The spokes I hand polished with the chrome polish, works really good. Soak the nipples, make sure all the nipples screw on thoroughly, by hand, on and off each one before you start. That's the way you gotta do it. And as I said in the other one, there's two different head angles, the inside spoke and the outside spoke. The insides are the less than 90 degree, I believe. And you start by spoking the inside spokes because you won't be able to get to them otherwise. You do one side, flip it, and do the other side once you get your pattern set. And then with the wheel fully spoked, they're all finger tight, pretty loose actually, shaky. I divided it into quadrants. You want one spoke from each side, so you can actually true the wheel with 8 spokes. And by putting some nice heavy marker on there, it helps a lot. Then you get it set up in the stand, get it so it pivots with very little play, have a dial indicator, and a pointer helps to get it going. The first thing I do is I true the up and down. If it's dragging on the bottom at the pointer, you loosen to the top a half turn and tighten the bottom and lift the wheel, the rim. And then once you get it in there, you have to check for, get it close. You want to check it for to make sure it's centered properly in the rim, hub in the rim. On this particular case, it's pretty much centered. Some wheels are offset. You have to check it before you take it apart. You can see the distance between the spokes, and then on the other side, it's centered with a ruler laid across the wheels. The wheel spins free. And then you start working out the side-by-side. Once you got the up and down out, you're still working with 8 spokes basically. You got it centered over the hub. You got it the up and down out, 99% out. Then you start using the pointer and get the side-to-side out. Same thing. If it's scraping on one side, you tighten the other. Loosen that side, tighten the other. And once you got the side-by-side out, you actually go around and you're pretty much there. Go around and finger tighten all the rest of the spokes, the nipples, and get them all down to where they're pretty even, because you're not going to move it much from there. You've basically got the side-by-side out. You've got it centered over the hub. You've got the up and down out. And from now on, it's just a matter of dialing in with a dial indicator. You find out where it's high, and like I said, you loosen that side and tighten the other side. You work with like 4 spokes at a time on either side. You just want to do very little, very slow. And as you get the thing in where it's like plus or minus 10 thousandths, then you're ready to go around and make sure all the spokes are equal tension, and do the tone test. And you spin around and click them and tighten them up about a quarter turn until they're all nice and tight. Then with the tire mounted, as I had a video on that, you got a finished, fully restored 82 Urban Express 14-inch rear wheel. Good for another, 27, 28 years worth of service, hopefully. and it's ready to go. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I filled in a few of the gaps. It's like I said, due to time constraints, it's impossible to follow the whole thing.